It was raining, or more perhaps actually, sprinkling. The air was humid and the night was rather ugly, but nothing could stop your feet from walking up the large hill. You moved at a slow pace, your mind wandering as you did so. You had been practicing your skills regularly. Your handling had improved just a bit, and the initial awkwardness you felt when dealing with your own sword had faded, rather slowly, of course. Still, you hadn't been able to find anyone who was willing to train with you. It was frustrating, to say the least. You didn't know how to deal with the constant annoyance, and so you came outside, ignoring the horrible weather to try and clear your mind. You breathed in heavily, allowing yourself to feel the fatigue that had built up over the past weeks. When you first got your sword, you hadn't held the highest expectations, but still, you had assumed that you would do more than this by now. The demon who was watching you from a distance was curious. Why were you walking out in the rain? Wouldn't you catch a cold? It was instant. Kokushibo had appeared behind you. Feeling the same familiar chills as last time, your head snapped behind you to see him. You relaxed a bit. Oh, it's just you. You didn't smile as usual, but instead, you looked at him with a plain expression. So you finally came. It's been a while. I thought for certain you had forgotten about me. Kokushibo took his time to respond. I was simply busy. I'm always busy. Your feet arrived further up the grassy, green hill. But you said you'd visit me, and it's been 3 months already. You sheered out at the thought. I trusted you, you know. He was silent. He felt as if he had visited you in record time. 3 months to him just felt like a couple of days. He spoke bluntly. 3 months is a short period of time for me. You looked at him stunned. What the hell? What in the world was 3 months short? Do demons view time differently? He didn't have to ponder on that question for long. No, it's just me. Time has become somewhat stagnant. He grew silent, and your interest peaked. Is it that bad? You wouldn't understand. You shook your head. No, I understand. I know what it feels like to get bored of the same old rhythm. That's why I wanted to become a swordswoman. You picked up a sword because you were bored? I'd be lying if I said that wasn't part of it. But I've always been interested in the swords. You looked at him, your eyes landing on his wrist. You also have a sword. Are you any good at it? Kokushibo stared at you blankly. Yes? Really? You had no idea. Can you show me? No. No? No. You pouted a bit. It's not as if everyone's helping me, you exclaim. The villagers see me as more of a player than a helper than anything. And although I'm trying my best to take seriously, it's not working. He wasn't surprised. He figured it had to do with your carefree attitude. But at the same time, There was a part of him that found it refreshing. Your feet stopped. Practicing is the only thing I can do to keep my ambition alive. I'm usually comfortable with all types of people around me, but I'm not so sure anymore. This time, his interest peaked. Tell me more. More about my No, more about you. You looked up at him, fascinated. More about me? There was silence as your brain loaded for a second. You want to know more about me? A bit. He wanted to know a bit. He couldn't lie. In particular, you seemed to be comfortable around him, but he didn't understand why. It felt strange to be constantly looked at when he had a horrid appearance, such as one he had. You want to know about me? What do you want to know? You suddenly asked as you realized he wasn't lying. Tell me why, when you speak to me, you look directly into my eyes. You chose to enlighten him. Because your eyes are pretty. You continued walking, and he shortly followed after. And you're comfortable around me? You saved me. You turned around. Did you forget? He had. He had for a moment. And besides, I'm not scared of you. That he could tell. And it was slightly bothering him. You had never been, not even from time to time he first met you. And now, the intentional strangeness of the situation was beginning to fade. The shocking was fading. He was getting used to being treated so casually, and it wasn't good. Before he could put away any additional thoughts of it into fruition, the two of you arrived at the top of the hill, and he looked down from where he stood and looked around. It was quite the scenery. His eyes could see the village in the distance. He could see the forest in his far peripheral vision, as well as the large mountains that spanned far into the distance. The couple of moments of silence passed, and the rain finally stopped, and the sky cleared up, revealing the misty clouds, and the glow of the moon came through. He actually didn't mind this. This was one of the only times he appreciated doing spontaneous of things. This was peaceful. This was out of the ordinary. This was all because of you. Somehow, he was content. Here, Kokushibo looked at you, spectacle. What were you doing to him? He knew it was something, but he just couldn't pinpoint it.